HTML, CSS, PHP, Python, and the rest, and build out what I want to build, whatever solution I want to build. But then there's like a couple of reasons why you should use it. Of course, if you want to go down the route of doing custom jobs like using HTML and CSS, that's fine. And to note, another thing to note is when you learn WordPress, if you have the experience using HTML, CSS, PHP, when you learn WordPress is an added advantage, right? So it's not something that should be overlooked anyway. So going through our points here, it's free and open source, which means you can download, use it on your PC, however you like, do your customizations. As long as you're learning, you can do everything you want to do on your PC, and without getting charged anyway, without getting charged. So if you're doing it yourself, you can learn on your own. So if you have a PC, you're free to download. Also, I'll be attaching the resources where you can get these softwares. I'll be attaching it to the blog post which we'll post on our website. So just be on the lookout for that. So second point is it's highly customizable with themes and plugins. No coding required for beginners actually. When you get to the advanced or intermediate level, you're going to sort of like have to have to deal with code in some way. But then as beginners, you can just go through the route of like not having to code, just use your page builders and do what you have to do. So also another thing to note is that it's SEO friendly, right? So I didn't really want much of our workshop today to be all about talking. So I just wanted us to have a little bit of practice or practicals whereby we actually put it to the test and know how to set it, because one of the things we want to learn is how do we set it up on our system. If we want to use WordPress on our system, how do we set it on our system? A couple of tutorials you see online would show you, majorly would show you, oh, you need to buy a hosting, you need to buy a domain. So, but we are going through the route of installing WordPress on our PC. And the reason is a lot of persons might not have the cash to spend on, say, buying a hosting or buying a domain. So you might just want to do everything you want to do on your PC. So in order to do this, you need two tools to install this on your PC. So number one is you need your local server. Right, I listed a couple of local servers here. I listed XAMPP, MAP, and WAMP. So depending on the particular one that looks nice that you can actually use. So let me just minimize and show us what a local um, shows what a local server looks like. So this is sort of like the interface. I just installed this. Yeah, so this is just the interface. I think I'll need to visit the website so we can just have a feel of what. So in order to download it, you can just visit or search anyway. A search is fine. Yeah. So depending on the kind of laptop you use, I know a couple of us might be using the Apple or MacBook, and you can download your spec here. There's Windows, there's a Linux, and there's one for the MacBook. So you can download, and this gives you access to a database. It gives you access to the PHP and Perl. But for the meantime, this is the two. This is the two that we're interested in. So this software, this piece of software, is going to give us access to that. So you can download. You can download. I already have it downloaded, right? So this link, I'm just going to attach it so that we can see what it looks like. Yeah. So I'm just going to open this up so that we can see what a control panel looks like. Yeah. Okay. So this is the control panel. This is what the control panel looks like. You have a couple of options: Apache, MySQL. The rest are not at this point. The rest they're not really like that important. They're not really important. The two things or the two services we need is the Apache and the MySQL. So I can just go ahead and start it up. So that's one. We have this. We have one of the tools installed and ready to go to work. So the second tool here is the WordPress core file. And the WordPress core file is what you build upon. It's just like, I would say, the analogy I would use is um, the skeleton. Yeah, the skeleton, the human body, the skeleton. The skeleton is just like the core of our being, and then the flesh, other things are just add-ons, yeah, that you have that make up the body. So the skeleton is just like the backbone and the foundation of the human body. Yeah, so I think that's a way to explain it, with analogies. So the second tool here is the WordPress core, which you can get by visiting wordpress.org slash download, I think. But let's just search that. Okay, yeah, I think slash download. Yeah, so recall what I mentioned was the XAMPP, the local server, which is what I'm using. I already have it downloaded. And the next thing is the WordPress core. So you can download it. This is 6.7.1, which is the latest version. You can download this and straight you get it on your PC. So let's go right ahead. I already have this on my PC. So I'm just going to open it up. Right. So when you have the WordPress file downloaded on your PC, it comes in as a zip folder. Anyway, I really hope that I really hope that we know what a zip folder is, right? It's a compressed, is a sort of like a compressed file that people use to just like what do you call it, archive a lot of files in it. So in order to use this, you actually need to unzip it. So now we have this downloaded. What we'll do is to unzip it. So just give me a moment to delete, I think a version I have here. So we can go through the extraction process. Yeah. So while that is going on, I would go to the WordPress file and say extract. So at any point you have a question, please put it down, or you can add it to the chat. You can add it to the chat so that I'll do well to answer your questions. Yeah, so that I have it there and I don't miss anything. Okay, so I'm going to click on extract here. Right. So the extraction is going on, let's say behind the scenes. The extraction was going on behind the scenes. So we now have WordPress now extracted. This is the file. I think it's a little bit smaller on your screen, so probably I'll make it bigger. Um, Large.
No, you're muted.
I think Ima, you're muted though. We can't hear you.
All right, sorry. Sorry about that. I mentioned, I think the last thing I was pointing out was the core files here. And I mentioned that at the core, everything that makes up like any nice website and any good looking website you see out there today is made up of WordPress. Examples of websites you can see today is, I think, is our State House website. Our State House website, the Nigerian State House website was built with WordPress. Yeah, this was built with WordPress. There there are a couple of other sites as well that were built with WordPress. We might not be able to go through all of them right now, but I just thought to um, show us this. Yeah, to show us this. This was built with WordPress. There are other websites as well. Um, that were built with WordPress. Um, I think it's good. I think it's good we have examples of websites built with WordPress, so we can just look at that and see. Right, so back to our local server. We already have our WordPress core files downloaded and we have this installed and running, as you can see. So what we need to do to open up our local host, as we call it, is to see that it's working. We need to type localhost. Yeah, so it shows you that it's running. So even if I don't have my data, I can be able to browse mainly my WordPress websites. Okay, so first step to installing is the first step I'll let you know is when you install let me open this up on a fresh. Let me see. So when you install your local server, it goes to your local disk. For persons um, who are used to Windows, yeah, it goes here to your local disk. So what you need to do is to open it up and look for XAMPP. Remember, that's the local server that we're using. So you can open it up and look for the folder called htdocs. So under htdocs, you have a combination of websites, and under this htdocs is where you would be exporting all your WordPress files. Remember, we extracted here our WordPress folder, right? So in order to install like this WordPress folder, what we're going to do is to copy. You can either copy, you can either move, whatever fits your. So you can copy it to the htdocs folder. All right, so copy to the htdocs folder. Now, what you can do, sometimes you might not just want to use this name. You might want to rename it to something, the name of the project you're working on. Say today we are working on a tutorial. Yeah. So I would name this tutorial. If I'm working on an actual project, let us say for Union Bank, I can say Union Bank as well. So, and why you do this is because you're just going to use that as an identifier for your local website, for the website on your PC. You're going to use that. So now let's get started with the setup. So for me to actually locate this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say localhost slash tutorial. Right. Sorry, I won't have something here. Ah, hold on. Localhost tutorial. Okay. All right. So while while that is loading up, this this website was developed with WordPress as well. So that's one of the examples. That's one example that we can show now. Um, okay. I think it's taking longer to open up, but then let's give it some time. Tutorial. All right. So I think this. All right. So I think this has opened up, and first step, you choose your language. Choose your language, and it tells you, "Welcome to WordPress." Before getting started, you need to know the following items. You need to know the following items. Number one listed here is your database. Number one listed here is database name, database username, and database password, the database host, and table prefix. So all these things now I listed, and all these things you see here are all under your MySQL. Now, for you to do this, there's a note for you to go through if you're trying to do it. Let us say you have no idea how to go about it. To you can go through this to install your database, whatever, following the prompts that they have shown here. But then, if you want to do it on your own, of course, you'll be doing most part on your own. If you're doing it on your own, what you do is to go to localhost. Right here, you see PHP myadmin. So I'm going to click on PHP myadmin, and the it will open up this interface. So this interface right here, you're able to see the list of databases that we already have here on this PC. Yeah. So now for me to set up my website, I need this. Yeah. So we are going to start first with the to create a database. So we are going to click on new. Oh, sorry. Make my sticky. Not here. So we're going to click. Let's say tutorial. Let's name it tutorial anyway. Let's name tutorial create. So now you see on the left hand side we have tutorial. I don't know if this is big enough for the screen, but then okay. So we have on this left hand side tutorial. So I'm going to click in tutorial. I'm going to click on tutorial. We have nothing, no database, nothing. You see no table found in the database, and this is because we just created this. Now for us, we've crossed this off now. We have our database name, which is tutorial. Now the next thing is the username, password, and host. So for us to have that, what we're going to do is to go to privileges, and we're going to say add new user account, right? So if I'm adding an account, let's say I use the username Emma, and then this is the host. Probably you might just choose local or anything, but just leave it as it is. When you leave it as it is, it still works. It still works out fine. So password, let's enter a password. The password here. I hope they're both correct. I hope they're both correct, but then we can check privileges and then go straight to the final button to save this. Right. So now we have this saved. We have our database name, which is tutorial, and we have the database username as Emma. We have our password, and we have our host. So now we have all these things. Yeah. We can now move forward to complete our setup. So we can click let's go, and then we can name what the website, anything. Let's say we name it WordPress, what haircut community. Sorry, rather, I made a mistake. That should be in the next step. So, what we are supposed to supply here is the database name, which is tutorial. Apologies. Tutorial username Emma. Remember. Then we are going to add a password. Our password is long run. Let's see. So that's a password. Now we have this tutorial Emma password, and we have localhost. Whenever you're setting up on your PC, when you have the localhost, just leave it as it is. Prefix still the same. Just leave it as it is. You might want to change it probably for security reasons anyway, but for the purpose of our demonstration, I'm just going to leave it this way. You might want to change it to something else. And the reason why people change their table prefix is probably they don't want people hacking them or hacking their website. So they just want to make it a little bit difficult. Anyway, so now we have all this supplied. We can say submit. Right. So, all right, Sparky, you've made it through this part of the installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database, right? So we can now run the installation. And I think this is the next step is where you're supposed to supply the site title. Okay, right. The site title, the username, and the password, and so on. So we can, right here, that's where we can do a WordPress Port community. Let's stop at WordPress Port anyway. Your username, you can use anything. You can use anything. So far, you don't use your maybe the name of the website, because sometimes people can guess through your username, through the name of the website. And also another tip, that's anyway, we are still talking about development, but for production, for your websites that are going to go live, don't use admin. Admin is the most simple form of username. So, but don't use admin anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead with the password they provided here. I think let me get my sticky notes. I think I have to copy that out to my sticky notes so I don't forget it. Right? So right here we can add any email that we want to add. Okay. And this email has to be your administrative email, and it's going to help you in case you lose your password. You're going to be able to get back into the website. So I have a couple of errors, unfortunately. Unfortunately, a couple of errors. We're going to see how we go around that. So, all right. Now we have completed the step of the setup. We now have this, and if you're looking clearly to the address bar, you're going to see that what we have here is localhost/tutorial/ wp-login.php. So you see that it's solely on our system and not like on a server or something. So whenever we want to add things to our website, whenever we want to play around with WordPress, we can easily do that on our PC without ever leaving it. So log on into some, all right. I hope there's a password. Okay. So incorrect password. Got the right password now. So once we log in, we are going to see what the WordPress dashboard looks like, the different tools, the different functionalities, different features. Okay. So it's open now. We have different functionalities. This is what you see once you have your WordPress website loaded up. This is what you see. This is what you have, and this is what you work with. on the front end, I think this is here. So on the front end, I think it's zoomed in so much. On the front end, this is just basic. Like I said, it's just a skeletal form of the website, and then you now build up from there. So um, for what we're going through today, we will just have to go through the tools. I think there should be a slide for that. Anyway, so we'll just have to go through the tools for tools of WordPress. I don't know how long we have remaining, but then we would just touch upon some of the tools and then go on. As we go on, we are going to make sure that we go through these tools. And the reason for understanding these tools is somewhere down the line, there are things that we might be doing and we don't, going back to like the basics might be difficult. We might say it in passing, but then you really need to know like, okay, what does this tool do? What does this tool do? What's the purpose of this tool or feature here on WordPress? So all right. So you have this dashboard. The dashboard is just at a glance. You can see the different things about the website, how many posts, how many comments, how many pages you have on the website. On here, you can see a quick draft that you can use to draft up a post, like the blog posts you see on um, different websites per se. You can start working on a draft here easily, but I mean, no person. I don't think I've ever seen people use this particular area, but well, I might be wrong. Um, Down here, you see an area where they show you WordPress events happening probably in your area if you choose a location or wherever it might be. But this shows you a rundown of events, news and events surrounding WordPress. Um, Down here, activities on the website. So here um, we have the blog posts and we have the comments. You can choose to trash. This automatically comes with automatically comes with the new installation. So when you don't really need it, so you can just like probably delete it. All right. So we have a couple of options here. Apart from the dashboard, we have the home updates. We use updates whenever you want to update things like the plugins and themes, uh, which we'll get right to very soon. Um, so we have the posts. Like I mentioned, the posts. The post is where you have things like the articles on blog sections of websites, like one of the websites I pulled up, which is the State House website. If you check out the press release, the articles that you have on there, they were created by posts like this. So if you're to just preview the what do you call it? If you're to preview what we have here, right, it's just pretty basic, but then we build up from here. So if you want to add, if you want to add something to the post, you can edit. This is quick edit. This is trash and view, right? So we've already viewed. We can open this in another tab anyway. I don't want to close this. You can open it in another tab. So I just show you what it looks like, and this is going to be coming with a newer version of. Okay, yeah. So the newer version of WordPress uses block editors. Yeah. Back in the days, let us say 2015, we were using something called Classic Editor. So Classic Editor is quite different from what you're seeing here. So if I have Classic Editor installed, you won't be able to see this kind of layout. It will be a different layout. So now, what we can do if you want to change what's it called? If you want to change the title, this is the title, and this is where your contents go to. The contents um, of your blog. So I think I need to let me get something. WordPress Sports Haircuts. So I'm trying to get a blog post that we can use for the example that we want to give. So, all right. So we have this post, what are WordCamps? Right. So let's say I'm writing an article. I'm writing an article. What are WordCamps or what is WordCamps? Yeah. So I'm just going to pick this, which is the title. I'm just going to pick this, the title, and then change. Sorry. So this is where my title is going to go to. Once I make the change, it's going to reflect on the other areas. The content, yes, the content, I can copy this content anyway. Copy this content and paste it here. Okay. So now we have the content. This is what it looks like. So you'd see on the right hand side, a block where it says post and block. So now on the first tab, which is post, it allows you to customize anything concerning this post. And now, which is the blog image, which is the featured image. This is an example of a featured image. This is an example of a featured image. So I just want to download this to my laptop, right? And then I want to download this to my laptop and then upload it here. So if I'm uploading this, I would say set featured image. Already we are on the upload files tab. Media library is if you already have something there, but we don't have anything installed. As you recall, this is a fresh installation of WordPress core. So what I'm going to do is to select file from my laptop. So set as featured image. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this, or publish rather. Anyway, you can just save this. So now remember, when we were looking at this, this is what it looked like. So if I'm to reload, yeah, this is what we have. What are WordCamps? You have your featured image, you have your text or your content rather. So this is how to create. What we just went through is how to create blog posts or articles on WordPress. Yeah, so that's one way to go about it. Now under the same post, and one of the things you see repeated mostly on this dashboard is you will see functions appearing twice or three times on the dashboard, and the reason why they did that is because of accessibility. Some persons might be used to creating new posts from here, where you say add new post. They might be used to creating a new post from here. They might be used to creating a new post from here. They might also be used to creating a new post from here. So they did it in such a way that you're able, wherever in whatever page you find yourself, you're able to create a new post or a new media from wherever you are. So the watchword here was accessibility, making it easier for people to use the platform. So that's it for here. For this particular option, it allows you to add new posts, which is actually what we went through here. When you want to add a new post, the title, content, and featured image. I hope that's clear. Um, I hope we're following because I've been the one talking. So, at any point, like I mentioned earlier, at any point, if you have questions, please leave them in the comment section or you put them down so that you can ask, your questions. So we also have categories here. We have categories and tags. So now, if you visit websites like Vanguard newspaper, okay, Vanguard or Punch, you're going to see you're going to see things like news. Okay, yeah, you're going to see things like news editions, politics, metro, and business. I think Vanguard was developed using WordPress, if I'm not mistaken. Um, if I'm not mistaken, it was developed using WordPress. Yes. So this was developed using WordPress. If you can actually inspect websites to see probably the code or maybe scripts on the website. So from the looks of things, from what I'm seeing, it was developed with WordPress. So safe to say, like WordPress is universal or global. Anyway, um, what brought us here was that like the categories and tags. Yeah. So what I was mentioning was that you can see news, editions, politics, metro, and the reason why they did it this way is to um, I actually wanted to use the word categorize, but sort of to create an arrangement whereby everything is um, fixed into the particular areas that they're supposed to be in. So when they create categories like this, or you might have a website. Let's say one of us talked about having an e-commerce store or something. So if you have an e-commerce store and you sell something like skincare, you're a skincare brand, you have an e-commerce store, you might want to have what do you call it? You might want to have categories that talk about skincare. You might want to have a category that talks about maybe morning routines, that kind of thing. So you have different blog posts or articles going to different sections, which is what they did here. So it makes it easier for, like, say, the end user to just browse the website, say, I want to just see only things under businesses. I will just go to the category for business, and the news or the articles I'm seeing there is just focused on business. Same goes for the other categories. So I think this is just a quick example of what categories stand for. Um, depending on the type of website or depending on the type of business you're building the website for. All right. So we have categories, we have tags. Tags really is also another level. Is also another level of categorization. Um, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that shortly. So the next thing, or the next feature, which is the third one you would see from the top here, is the media. Like we mentioned, media, as the name implies, is that it's going to allow you to upload any kind of media ranging from pictures, videos, audios, and documents. Yeah, so it's going to allow you to upload this as long as it's something that you want to use on your website. You want to sort of like embed an audio file that people can play and listen to. You can also do that. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have any audio file that I'm going to use to do what they call it, to give an illustration, and I don't have any audio file I'm going to use to give an illustration file, but I can use this for image. There's also one for video. So you see how easy it is to just do things or carry out these operations when it's on your laptop. It's very easy for you to do that, and you know that whatever you're doing, no person is going to beat you that, oh, this is what you have done to my website or so, because one of the things is it just gives you that, it's just a playground for you to do, to start. You might make a mistake or something, but you can still go back to it and fix it. So it's very important that we learn, like, how to navigate, yeah, how to navigate the dashboard, on our PC. So after the media, because the only options media has is a library where you see a list of your media files, and then the add option, add new media file option. So aside this, we can move ahead to pages. So now, under pages, pages is sort of like I would say they are the templates, um, not really templates. They are the web pages of your website. Let's say someone wants to visit contact page. They won't go to your posts. They won't go to your post to visit the contact page, because these are just meant for like article based, yeah. So, but your pages just refers, they are references to your things that you're going to use to build out your contact page, your about page, your um, what other page? Services page. It could be your privacy policy, as you see privacy policy here. Yeah, so it's something, your home page as well. This is where you're going to design all that. You're going to design all that here. So pages is also important. You see that they have similar features with the posts, but they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. You also notice another difference between the two is that the categorization that you have for posts isn't here. You don't have that same categorization here. So that's another thing to also note the difference between the two. So just know that this is for the blog posts, articles, whatever you have on your website. Okay, I have a confusion. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to explain now. Yeah. Um, Someone just asked a question, trying to know like the difference between the pages and the posts, bearing in mind that they have similar qualities that you can edit, you can trash, you can preview. So what I mentioned was that the categorization for pages don't have the categorization posts have. Posts are essentially used for just like blog posts, articles, whatever you might have on your website that is solely based on like giving information or content to people. You use the posts for it. But when you come down to pages, you use pages to design things like your contact page, which will have your contact form or Google Map, whatever information or contact details. You'd use your pages to design. You use your pages to design the about page, the services page, and other. There are many other pages that you'd also meet along the way. Yeah, that you also be aware of when you start development or when you start designing websites. So, Mr. Mono, I don't know if I've answered that question. I don't know if it's clear now. Just let me know. Just let me know if you're less confused now. Um, we have comments. Another feature we have here is comments. So comments right here, whenever people comment on your website, let's say on this post, when you scroll down, you'd see an area for comments. Entertainment websites are usually that why I'm making reference to websites like Vanguard and all these other news websites is because whenever you scroll down, you see the area for comments, and that's what people use like really um, browse or go through. So right on this feature, you're able to see comments that comes in on your website. So I'm going to leave a comment here and say great post. Sorry, great. A bit something using protocols as identify or do I believe. Okay. So what's the second tool called? Um, from the top, we have the dashboard posts and we have the media. Yeah. So, okay. All right. All right. So we have the posts, media, and pages. So these are the tools that you have before you get to comment. So I was here. Great posts, very insightful. Let's use that. So I'm going to post that, and this comes in as a comment here. So now on the back end, if I refresh, I'm going to see that someone commented here. So now the essence of this feature is to give you the power to delete or mark what they call it comments as spam. You can trash, you can unapprove. When you unapprove, it's not going to appear. Sorry. when you unapprove, it's not going to appear on the front end here. It's not going to appear on the front end here. So there are a couple of things, also advanced tools that you can use to manage this. But on the core, this is what they give you to manage your comments. Right? So, all right. So, Mr. Emmanuel, I just saw your follow-up, and probably at the end, yeah, at the end of the class, I can do that. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you. Right. So, new team. Now we are the next area is the appearance, and the appearance here is different for different teams. For people who started far back, far back with WordPress, they would know that a couple of changes have happened over the years, and now we are at this point where we have just the team and the editor, right? But we are not going to bother ourselves that much in this and for today's workshop about it. But we are just going to just go through sort of like a preamble of like what the team area or the appearance area is all about. So the appearance, like the name entails, just talks about like everything concerning the look and feel of your website. Things from the colors, um, the fonts you choose. There's also other things, the font size, um, and the layout. Yeah. So right here, you're going to see the option to add a new theme. You're going to see themes that are already here on the website. So now these themes are what you liken them to are templates. You liken the themes to templates that just allows you to just add some level of functionality or look and feel to your website. So there are free themes and there are paid themes, just like there are free teams and there are paid teams. I'm trying to go a little bit faster so that we can be done with all this, so that in our next workshop we can do more things like using a page builder to design a home page. Right. So with Teams, you're able to add a new look or feel to your website. Like when we installed this website, you saw that what we had was just like a plain yes. What we had was just like a plain look. It's just the demo data that you have here, just the name of the website, the links to different pages on the website, and then you have the blog post. So Teams just add a little kind of, you see it like flavors to your website. So depending on the kind of flavor you're going for or the kind of thing that you want to use, you can just choose. So WordPress in their own way also, because a lot of persons has contributed to this open source software. You see that there are many themes that you can use. You can see themes for online stores. You can see themes for blogs. You can see themes for, I think it's mainly online stores here. Okay, you can see themes for consultants, businesses, coaches. Yeah, so depending on what you are looking to achieve. So if I decide I wanted to work with something else, I want to change the look and feel of my website, I could install Candence, I can install 2021 theme, depending on what I want to go for. All right. I can install these as well. So when you install, the process to stuff is when you install, you activate the theme. So for installations of these things, you actually need to turn on your data. Remember, you're doing it on your PC, you're designing or developing on your PC. So, but for installations like this, it needs to pull from the source, which is online. So you need to turn on your data to do that. So once I have this installed, I can say activate to activate the theme. So if I activate this theme, the look and feel of my website is going to change. It's going to change. So, let me do this. Install. It's asking me to install a plugin. We've not gotten to plugin, but we'll get to that. So as this is installing, I just wanted to draw your attention to something. So remember when we had the 20, was it 2025? Yeah, when we had the 2025 theme installed, the two options we had only on this end was themes and site editor. Now you saw that when we made the switch to a different theme, oh, is actually going to affect the elements on the website. It's actually going to affect the elements on the website, except you're not using the theme as the theme element as a page builder. And what I mean is this: um, like, I installed this theme now, and it asked me to install something called the Enovo Extra, which is a plugin. Yeah. Now, if I'm designing with a page builder and I use any element from this particular theme, if I change the theme, it's going to change the layout. It's going to it's going to change the look and feel, in the sense that some of those functionalities that were available before won't be available. So I think I can give some sort of like example. Uh, I can give some sort of like example with this. So let us reload the front end and see what it looks like. All right, so the front end, this is what the front end looks like. You see that the front end has changed. It has changed from what it used to look like. So if if I were to switch back to 2025, the layout is going to change. The layout that you have here is going to change. So you can see that if we do this, go to Teams, open up Teams. Once Teams is opened up, we click on Activate 2025. All right. So once we have 2025 installed, we have 2025 installed or activated, we can reload the front end now. And you see that it has gone back to what it used to be. It's no longer, the layout has changed, everything about the front end of the website has changed. Right. So changing your theme would actually affect, your layouts and look and feel in a way. So I guess I've answered that question. So just have it at the back of your mind that Teams just gives you an added functionality when you're designing. For people who are not designing from the scratch, there are people who love designing from the scratch. When you have a Figma file, um, I don't know how many persons are conversant with Figma here. How many persons are conversant with Figma when it comes to like designing? Or okay, so Emmanuel raises his hand. I cannot only be Emmanuel. Okay, UI UX. Yeah. Exactly, UI UX. Um, so no other person aside Emmanuel, no other person conversant with Figma. Okay, so I think we have some hands raised now. Mr. Innocent as well. So Figma, when you hear of UI UX, you just know that Figma is a tool that they use. UI UX, the design guys, that's what they use to design, good and wonderful things, and they pass it down to the developers who would now translate those designs into functional components or functional websites. Like wherever you click is like you're having interactions with the website and all that. So um, so for some persons, they have a UI UX guy design websites, and then, like I mentioned, they transfer it to the developer who is going to work on it. So that's one aspect. So back to our appearances, right? We have, sorry. Sorry, I think I had a call coming in. So the teams, yeah, we were a team. So we have the teams, we have the editor. So editor, like I mentioned there was a time I mentioned like there's a way to control the fonts, there's a way to control the colors you use on your website, there's a way to control a whole lot of other things. So right here you can see an option, and this is like a new what will I say, a new format for people. For people, I don't know how many persons who use I don't know how many persons who use this particular, like the block editors and all, but everyone has their what works for them. Yeah, everyone has what works for them. So right here, this is what we have for the block editor. Whenever we want to change styles on our website, whenever we want to change templates on our websites, you can do that. So if you click on templates, you can see things like um, archives. You can see things like a single post, what your single post is going to look like, what your home is going to look like. You can actually design or add your own template, but for people, it's going to be quite different. So you see pages, you see pages here. You're able to design every page with your page editor. The page editor here is block editor, like I mentioned. So it's just a drag and drop feature that just allows you to drag and drop elements on a web page, and you're able to build out something nice anyway. So we have the styles. Just want to quickly go through the styles. So we have the styles. If I want to change the look and feel of my website without, like, advanced knowledge, this helps me to do it easily. This helps me to do that easily. I can change to this. Let me see. I can change to this. You see that the look and feel will change. I can change to sunrise. So one of the things that you'll be noticing is that as I'm making these changes, is either the colors or the fonts on the website, they are changing. You understand? They're changing. So the look and feel on your website can be customized depending on what you're going for. So you see the area for midnight. You can also create yours. That's another good thing about it. You can also create your own custom look and feel. So depending on what works for you, depending on what you're going for. All right. So I think we would go further as we get to, like, the next workshop. In the next workshop, we'll go further into using page builders. But for me, I prefer using the page builder called Elementor. I use page builder called Elementor, and it's why I prefer using that is because it's easier for me to customize stuff. Even if the functionality is not there, I can write a CSS to add beauty to it. Yeah, so, or I can customize it for that with CSS. So that's one of the good things. So, I mean, what works for you, choose what works for you, play around and choose what works for you. If it's a site editor that you find nice, because people who actually like the site editor are just like, let's say I'm just blogging for fun. Okay, let's say I'm just blogging for fun and I just want to be putting out, or journaling, I want to put out my thoughts, my content out there. I could use site editor without having to pay someone for it. Yeah, without having to pay premium for it. I can just do that and just have my journal out there. The question here is, so someone asked in the chat, said, is Elementor free or paid? So Elementor is free. Yeah. One of the things you would understand with some features or some what they call it, components of WordPress, is they always have a free version and they have a paid version. That's Pro. They have a free version and they have the Pro version. The free version has limited things you can do with it. Like what you're seeing now is like the site editor, of course, is free forever and everything, but then you're limited to what you can do with it. Same thing goes for themes, same thing goes for plugins, where we are getting to plugins right now. So each element that you find, you'd see that they have free versions and paid versions. So that I think that answers your question. So I think what's the time? 10:30. All right. I think we should be wrapping up very soon. We've, we've spent so much time on this, but I just want to believe that we are getting something. We're getting it down. So appearance, customize, install demos. So this is the same thing. So these things came with it came with the theme that we installed formally. There was a theme we installed here, this Envo theme that we installed formally. Those functionalities, like you see the install demo, came with it. This is what we had initially. We just had themes and editor, but when we installed the theme Envo, it came with all those things. So but notwithstanding, we move ahead. We've seen what the editor looks like. We've seen the areas for the styles, to change styles. We've seen the area. No. We are going to finish everything we have on the dashboard. We're going to finish everything we have on the dashboard, the tools we have on the dashboard. So I'm just going through it so that we have time in our next class to work on. We have time in our next class to work on, okay, headers, what are headers, what's the body of the website, and how do we design footers of websites. So yeah, that's why I'm going through all this so that we don't get things mixed up. Yeah. All right. So plugins. Plugins. I'm trying to look for a better way to explain what plugins do. So I think one of the things you can look at plugins, you can say plugins are building blocks in this. Now, you would agree with me that when we install this, it's just empty. The website is just empty. It's not as beautiful as some websites that you'd say, this website looks nice. Or maybe you go to Vanguard, you see how nice the homepage is looking. Or maybe you visit, what other website will I say? Will I say Dangote's website. You visit their website and you see how their website looks. You say, this is nice. This is that. You understand? So you would agree with me that this is empty. So what plugins actually do, what they do is they add functionality to your website. Say you want to have a contact page. Say you want to have a contact page. If you go to pages, you see that you don't have a contact page. Even if you create a new page and name it contact us page or something like that, you still don't have the functionality of a contact form. So if you create the page, once you're done creating the page, like, how do I add a contact form? So let's just put that into practice now. Say an example is I create this page, contact us, and I publish it. Sorry. So another new advancement that has come up is they can actually give you options of different layouts you can choose for your contact page or any of your pages. You can choose what you want and then customize. But anyway, for the purpose of what we're doing today, we are going with the blank canvas first. So now you'd see that the contact page I created is just blank, nothing there. There is no contact form. Even when you look on the back end, you will see that there's no place that is listed forms. Yeah. So for me to add that functionality of a form that people can fill and I get feedback on, I would have to add a plugin. Let's look at the installed plugins right now. Okay, this is what is installed right now. I can deactivate this and delete this first. So let me delete this and delete this. So we don't have any plugin installed here. The functionality I want to add to my website is contact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new plugin, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a contact form. So I'm going to say contact. contact form. Right. So now he has loaded, he has brought back queries, different results for contact form. So you have 1,001 options to choose from. You cannot say, oh, I don't have form that I'll add to my website or something. There is no, all these ones now that you're seeing here, they are free. At least they'll give you the basic, like the bare minimum feature, but just basic, yeah. So we have this contact form, and we have WP forms. They're just going to give you just basic things that you can add to your website. You can choose anyone. You can see that there are people, 10, yeah, 10 million plus persons have installed this plugin on their website. So another thing to keep an eye out on is the rating and the installations. Sometimes though, you can see one that has lesser ratings, but I mean, the plugin makes sense with the different features or functionalities that you're looking for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install WP Forms. This is what I'm going to go with. Like I said, whatever works for you, whatever works for you. So it could be from Neto, it could be Fluent Forms, it could be Contact Form 7. So I'm going to install this. Once it's done installing, I'm going to activate it and then sort of like quickly create a contact form, which we are going to embed on our contact page. Where is our contact page? Yes. So this is a contact page. I think it's taking quite a while. So while that is going on, probably we'll just be treating some other things. Right. So any questions? I don't know if any person has any questions so far. I don't know if you have questions so far. Questions. Okay, I think Mr. Emmanuel has a question.
Okay. Thank you, Mando. My namesake.
You're welcome.
I have been thinking about how to start WordPress. Just consuming the whole form of YouTube videos,
Yes.
just like that. So I just have some little background, but I've never tried it.
Okay.
But by this lecture, I think you've actually sparked the fire in me to want to embark and showing me that it's really not hard, it's simple. So I think the most important thing is true that through this lecture even sparked a desire for me, a passion for me to start learning how to build WordPress instantly. So I would like to ask, I don't know, my question is a little bit complex and very wild. So I'd like
All
to,
right.
as an amateur, I'd like you to tell me the time frame it is going to take me to like not be an expert as an amateur, not an amateur, even before an amateur, to get on my feet and start building a website for my business, for myself. Maybe not for, you understand, making money, but just for my business. The time frame, this time frame, depending on all the things I need to learn, all the basic things I need to learn to get started. That's one.
Okay.
And number two, and also, I'd like you to give me tools. For example, for example that I'm an amateur WordPress website designer who's just started and you're an expert that you are. So I'd like you to give me in a summary what I need to pay for, whether it's template, whether it's theme, whether it's whatever the appearance you're saying that I have to pay for. And
I think I lost you. Probably it's network. Probably it's the network, but hopefully your network gets restored. Yeah. I think maybe instead of me like answering right now, just like wait a little bit for you to get back online. Maybe you got a call or something. So while he was asking the question, the form was done installing and we did our activation and it opened up this area. So you see that there are more things to the WordPress core file that meets the eye, that helps you do like adds functionality to your website. So let's say I want to add the contact from here. Okay. So there are basic ones that you can use. There's a template here. simple template that I can use here. So I can just quickly click on this and say, oh, add this form for me. So it's loading up. It has added the form. Right here, you see that is a drag and drop feature. Very easy. Very easy for you to navigate. It's a drag and drop feature. It just allows you to, whatever information you want. Is it email? Okay, the email is already there. Is it the phone numbers that you want to get from them? You have, okay, so this fancy, you see this is a pro feature. Phone field is a pro feature, and you need to upgrade to get it. To get it. So, but I think for the most part, this information is sufficient anyway. So, name, what we have here, name, phone number, and comment or message. Let's say message. Let's remove that and say message. So, I think someone, Emmanuel is back. Emmanuel, just give me a minute so that you can continue with your question, because we lost you at some point. So just give me a minute so you can continue your question, and I'll be able to answer that. So your setup, settings rather, your settings, you can edit the name of your contact form. Where's that? You can edit the name of your contact form. I can say inquiry. Hope that's the pronunciation. Hope that's the spelling. I can say inquiry, and I save this contact form. Now, since I have it saved, I can go to my dashboard. Remember, let me refresh this dashboard so that we can see what it looks like. So now, remember, our dashboard has now changed to have this section that shows us our form. It shows us our form, it shows us what we have on our website. So if I want to get this form now to be on my contact page, what I can do is I can go to and click here, WP Forms. This is what I installed for my contact form. Hold on. Yeah. So I can go here. What I'm going to grab is this. It's called a shortcode. All right. It's called a shortcode. Now, remember that for other persons now, let us say for front-end guys, people who do front-end, it will take them a while. This thing that took how many minutes now will take them a while to design or code a form with HTML and CSS that they're going to use. But with WordPress, it's like, easy. It's easy for you to just do what you have to do and just get it over with. So, I'm going to go back to my page. Yeah, this is our contact us page. I'm going to go back there, and I'd say, do we have something for shortcode? Let me see. Shortcode. Okay, yes. So we have, when I click the plus button, I can add elements to this particular page. So, which is where we set our shortcode. Type shortcode, and we're able to add this. So once I have it added, I can save this page. All right, so let's go back to our contact page. So this is what it looks like before we added the contact form page, the contact form rather. So now we've reloaded, you see that we have a contact form that people can fill, in their name, phone number, their name, email, and the message they want to send to you. So you see that it's like a whole lot easier. So what's, in a nutshell, plugins just, they add functionality to your website. If it's a pop-up that you need, you can do a pop-up. If it's buttons or add-ons that you need on your website, you can use plugins as well. There are also other advanced things that you can use plugins for, right? So that's one thing. So if you go to this area where they say add new plugin, you will see that there are so many things, there are so many plugins that even if we start today, like we won't like exhaust everything. There are SEO plugins. I remember last year we had classes around SEO. We had several classes around SEO. So there are SEO plugins, which is for search engine optimization. You see so many plugins here. Then for security, you can see so many um, plugins. And yeah, that reminds me, one of our organizers developed a plugin for activity log. Mr. God bless, can you remind me the name? So I just search it here. Is he already on the repository? Mm, I think he anyway. I think he's not with us currently. But then he developed a security sort of a security feature that allows you to know the different things or the different activities that has happened on your website. Um, I just wanted him to give me the name of the plugin, so you can check it out. Activity log. I think it should be activity logs. Um, I think I checked it out at the time. So for activity logs, you can see that there's so many activity logs here that you can use to check out, like, oh, what did the person do? This person, user A, changed the theme. User B updated the plugin. You can use all those things to track different activities on your website. So anyway, I don't think he's I don't think he's on now. So, but he shared it on the group. So maybe if you'd like, or maybe if you're trying to play out or test out the plugin, you should just check out our WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to check out our WhatsApp group, and you'll be able to have access to the link where you can download the plugin from and install. Okay, so the next thing is users. Sorry, the next thing is users. So via users, we use this to add a new person to the website. Say I want to add a new administrator, a new editor, author, contributor, subscriber, right? I can use this to add a new admin, someone I can send their credential to, that would manage the website, that would carry out some things on the website, whether it's maintenance or updates. Yeah, you get what I mean? So we use this. It's just the same thing as the account creation that we created while setting up the website. So you can do this, add the person's email address, and the details is sent. Send the new user an email about their account. So the details is being sent to them. So you can use this to see the number of users on your website. You can also use that to delete, to reset their password. As you can see, you can reset password from the back end as well. So these are things that you can do on the WordPress dashboard. So another thing are the tools here that you see. Available tools: import, export, erase personal data. These areas usually, I mean, for websites that are big websites that deal with too much data or something, you can use this to erase um, personal data. Um, Another thing that you can look at is regarding this is the data laws in Nigeria. Of course, you must have heard of GDP, GP, eh? GDPR, yeah, GDPR. You must have heard of GDPR, which is data protection, a regulation that they're doing in the UK. Canada has theirs as well. So there's different laws that tell you, oh, you don't have people's information. Let's say it's an e-commerce, not an e-commerce store necessarily, but it tries to regulate how you use people's personal information, their name, phone number, email, and all that sort. So, and that's something that you can look out for. The theme file editor and the plugin file editor, they are a little bit advanced. And why I say that is because it has to do with a little bit of coding. So if you don't understand PHP, you might not be able to do that. But then, without having to go through all this area, you don't really need to be bothered about this area. You just need to just work with the other areas, the page builders, which is what I have mentioned that we would treat in the next what we will treat in the next class. So, um, what we treat in the next class. So just let's keep this aside for now. The theme file and the editor file. Let's keep this aside for this. So, site health. Really, I wouldn't say that this is a most used feature, a most used feature on websites, because I mean, one of the things that tells you what's up with your website as well is um, how fast your website loads, how your website is doing. So I mean, this feature, well, for some persons is needed so that you see what you can work on. But for people who have been doing it for a while, they already know that okay, there are some things that they're looking out for, that once this type of things happen, they start suspecting that there is something wrong somewhere. There's something wrong somewhere. Then they know that okay, this is what I'm going to fix. But this helps. This actually helps beginners actually trace. Okay, these are problems that you need to look out. Uh, you need to fix. It might not be something that is crucial, but it's something that okay, maybe when you fix it, you get a point. At least maybe your website loads faster or something starts working properly. So I think that's that for the tools. So the settings, we are now at the settings. I think the settings is the final one that we'll look at before we try to before we try to call it a day. The settings generally, remember when we were setting this website up or setting WordPress up on a laptop, we went through naming the website. We went through several things. Yeah. So here you're going to see the administrator email, which I added while setting it up. You see the title, tagline. You can add taglines if you want to. Yeah. If you want to, it's also good for SEO. So under settings, you have different options like the site icon. Site icon refers to, I don't know if you can see the top of the tabs, the browser tabs. You can see this little square icon here. They are the sites. They are referred to as site icon. And this site icon, as you can see here, is the WordPress icon that you have here. So here you can actually upload something and it changes. I don't know if I have something that I can upload, but I don't know if I have something I can upload, but let's see. Accolades. Use this as site icon. Yeah. Error in cropping your image. Okay. So sorry, hold on. Set as site icon. For some reason it's just showing me the error message, but anyway, that's something that you need to know. Settings, you can get that option through settings. This is the URL of the website. This is the URL. This is the administrative email address or administration email address. And as you recall, we added this while setting up the website. Membership. This option right here gives you the option to allow people to register on your website. If you don't want people to allow to register on your website, you just leave it unchecked. But if you check it, it means that I want to allow people to register on my website. And what will be their default role? Subscriber. Now, if you choose administrator, it means that the person can have access to your back end, and then whatever the person does, well, it's still on you. It's still on you as well. But then just usually safe to say you need to just leave it as subscriber. Here is the site language, time zone, fine, and just little settings. I don't think that there's really much here to do. The main core areas where you deal with most of the time are the themes, plugins, pages, and the posts. The post area, that's where we are going to be dwelling in for the next workshop. So here, default category, default post format. I mean, these are things that not necessarily you don't really need it. Not necessarily you don't really need it, but then is a feature of, in case one of these days you actually need to. One of the feature there is you can create an email on. You can create a post via your email and just post to your website. So, but whatever works for you, that's the essence of accessibility. Whatever works for you. So here you can control your home page display. I think this area, we're going to come back to this area when we are working on our homepage in the next class. When we are working on our homepage, we are going to come back to this area because it's going to be important for us when we are setting our homepage. As you can see here, you can set your homepage, which page you have created that you want to be the homepage. You can do that here. So blog posts show at the most 10 posts. You can decide this is where I want my blog post to show, and I just want 10 posts to show per page. Yeah. So whatever rocks your boat, basically. We've gone through different areas as well, which is the discussion. We've gone through the discussion. A lot of the things that are on the settings area are just like explanatory, in the sense that when you look at it under the post settings, you see attempt to notify blogs linked to from the post, XYZ, allow link notifications from other blogs and all that. So you can check, you can uncheck, depending on the kind of settings you're going for on your website. And I will say, and why most of the times I usually say, oh, they're not really important, but I would also say that it's also dependent on the kind of website you're building. If it's an e-commerce brand, I don't really need these things. Allow people to submit comments on new posts. Okay, if I want people to submit comments on the new post, I'll leave it checked. If I don't want people to submit comments on the post, I can remove this and say save. I can remove this and say save. So once I do that, I think we have a blog post open. Yes, we have a blog post open. So it's sort of like what it does is that it sort of like disables people, like people who want to comment. Anyone post a comment, all this thing. This area in particular just handles your settings around whether you want people to comment, whether you want to receive a notification when people have commented, whether you want to receive a notification when a comment has been held for moderation, right? So this moderation is usually, people do it to avoid spam. Like any person can come to your blog or to your website and leave like a hate comment or leave a very useless comment or something like that, and you just want to moderate that and get that out of the way. So you can also do that. It just gives you the power to do that, because if it were any other platform like Google Map or something, they would feel like, oh, this comment is actually maybe portrays what this company or this brand is all about. So that's one thing to look at. Permalinks. Permalinks just talks about the structure, your link structure. Link structure that I'm talking about now is this. Here you're seeing that my link structure is showing localhost/tutorial. There is a question mark, p equals to 1, right? And this is going to be difficult for maybe, let's say Google is crawling your website. It's going to be difficult for Google to understand like what's happening here. Just be like, what's happening here? So best practice usually, we ask people to use post name. You can see a couple of functions, or like, let's say, features here, day and name. So they show you an example of what your link will look like. It will have the day, the year, the day, and the Yeah, it will have the year, month, and the day, and then have the name. Then this one has just the year and the month. This one is a numeric, and then you have the post name. So, but it's advisable just use post name. Once you use post name, you're good to go. You use post name and save. So if I'm to save this thing, because remember you recall that what we were using is plain. So if I'm to change this, we move to post name and change it. So once I change that, um, I'm going to reload. I'm going to reload this page to see if it's going to change. All right. So you see right now that our post, our post has changed. It's now showing the blog name. Yeah. So it says "Hello World" to. So it's just showing this as the link. So you see, it has changed from the question mark P equals 1, or so P1, to Hello World 2. So that area just gives you the functionality, or um, yeah, the functionality to just change your link structure, which this is nice for SEO, for your search engine optimization is nice. So I think that's the much we can like handle today. I mean, since 9 we've been going at this, and okay, this is the last one. Privacy policy helps you create a privacy policy page. We'll also treat that in the next class. We will also treat that in the next class, because as we are doing that, we're going to do something simple for the next class: header, footer, the body, and then we have the privacy policy and all those little pages that you can think of that can make up a website, so that everyone knows like how it goes and how the whole website stuff works. Um, so I think that's the much we can do for today. That's the much we can do for today. Just wanted to check the comments area to see if there are questions. I think there are questions in the comments section. Oh my God. Someone tried joining, but I think I didn't see it. Um, so questions. Let me go back. Uh, I don't know if Emmanuel is still on the call, because Emmanuel had a question. I don't know if Emmanuel is still on the call. But anyway, okay, King. Yeah. Welcome back.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very, very illuminating session. I've gained so much for the entire. I think 1 year that I've been trying to just prefer and consume information. This is really by far one of the most organized training I've ever attended concerning this topic. So I wanted you to just give me, I don't know, just give me some tips. And I think you've convinced me for probably the next few months to begin to start learning everything about WordPress. So before I commit, I'd like you to, number one, give me an idea of the time frame if I have to, from being a novice to learning how to develop a website for myself, or maybe my friend, or maybe I can get say an opportunity probably in my place of work. What's the time frame like if I'm committed? What's the time frame? What's the learning curve? I know it's easier to do this because it has cut down maybe the learning curve by more than 50%. You understand hardcore programming. So give me an idea of like the learning curve I have to, like, you believe I can take the time frame I can take to get there. And two, the second question is, as an amateur trying to learn things on my own, I really don't want to, just like an IG, I really don't want to try things and figure things out. You understand? Then all over a long period of time, you're now, you understand, beginning to understand the industry standard of the template, the appearance that is being used, the theme, the probably, I don't know, maybe hosting when you talk about those ones later. I just want you to, based on what everybody's doing, you and every other, every person probably in this industry to
I
cut
get you.
costs to for efficiency. Maybe you just give me the tools that I would need, maybe the template. Here, this is what you need. Here, this is what, and this is what you need to pay for. You can't escape this one. You have to pay for
Yeah,
this
okay.
service, and you can get this ones free. You understand? And maybe the hosting we can leave the host, or you can maybe chip in the hosting.
Okay.
I just want you to give me an idea of, so then I know, yes, I'm going to fully commit myself into,
Okay.
you understand, learning it.
All right. So thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate that. So to your first question, yeah, about the duration, like how long is it going to take? I can give you a timeline and say, okay, this between 1 month to 2 months, you're able to like start developing or designing a website. But also, I will tell you that it's in doing and in practicing and in like designing websites that you get more experience to let's say best practices, that you get more experience. Probably you watch other persons, you see how they do stuff, you feel like, okay, this is the best way to do it, or this cuts the time short for you to do something. So I think I want to go through this, right? So between 1 to 2 months, depending on your timing, yeah, because most persons might have like work that they're doing or a job. So they might just want to be learning on the side, probably 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, that kind of stuff. Committing 1 hour or 2 hours a day to just learn one thing, even if it's just one how to control something that you learned for a particular day. I mean, it sets you apart. Um, I think during the end of the year hangout, I was explaining to them how I got into WordPress, and what I mentioned was that I didn't just for me using WordPress, it started as like, let's say, a mistake. And why I said it's a mistake is because when I was actively looking for how do I set this up on my PC, how do I do this, I can tell you for a fact that it took me months to understand that this is how it works. I kept watching videos, and it's to be fair, it looks like magic because because whenever they do whatever they do from this step to this step to this step, it works for them. But whenever I try it on my PC, it doesn't work. You understand? So it took me a while to one of the days I stumbled on how to. I just did it by mistake. And at that point, I didn't know what did I do to make this work this way. You understand? So it came from me retracing my step and, okay, this is how to actually make it work. This is how to actually make it work. You understand? So what I'm saying in essence is that it's going to take you doing, yeah, practicing to actually get to a point whereby, okay, I'm confident that I can go out and get new gigs from people and be able to fulfill them. It's one thing to get a website job from persons, and it's one thing to fulfill it and they're okay. Oh, I love this website and all these things, because at the end of the day, the customer, the customer always tell you what they want for themselves. So I mean, that's it. So in with regards tools, I mean, there's a whole lot of tools. There's a whole lot of tools when it comes to WordPress. So along the
Basic,
line,
the
when
basic.
the basic, okay, yeah, yeah. So the basic along the line, when I've been explaining, you would recall me saying, whatever works for you, because what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. I have a colleague I work with who likes using WP Bakery, which is WP Bakery is a plugin, a page builder plugin that you use to design websites. I, on the other hand, prefer using Elementor. You understand? So we differ in some way. Everyone is going to do what everyone is going to stick to what works for them. Now, it will take you yourself like testing out few things. Like when you checked out the form, the different forms that we had on that website, or on the plugin dashboard, you saw that there were so many types of forms. There are some forms that you look at and you're like, I don't like using this form. And the only time you can come to that conclusion is if you have tested it, if you have installed it, which is the essence of having this on your PC. If you have installed it on your PC and just like test one or two things on the this thing, and you say, okay, I don't think I'll be using this form for development or anything. But then, to your question, basics. Hmm. Uh, on a personal level, I will tell you use Elementor. With Elementor, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can customize. Like there are some times that you might not even really need a whole lot of plugins because Elementor right now is so robust that it has added a lot of functionalities that makes it possible for people to do stuff like when I mentioned pop-ups on websites, you don't even really need to add a plugin again to do that. It's already on Elementor. So you just design your pop-up on Elementor and you can take that live. So Elementor is the key thing. There are also websites where you can get templates from. Though I might not advise you to use that for if you're working for a paying client, right? It's best bet that you get it from somewhere like Team Forest, where you pay and where you pay for the team and you get support for the team for how long you paid for. Yeah, so you can get things. But why I mentioned this website is that it can help you just practice. It can help you just practice. You get nice templates that you're going to use for your website. Like let's go to Team Forest. Team Forest. So give or take, there are projects that you can do that will be costing anywhere from 300k, 300k upwards, 300k upwards. So if you're doing projects like that, that's I mean for Nigerians, but for foreign clients, I mean you're not going to obviously you're not going to charge them 300k. So why I mentioned this is most teams outside Team Forest are plagued with maybe backdoors that people can hack your website. So they are backdoors, they are not trusted, and all those kind of things. So you'd like to go to a platform. Oh, I trust these people. I trust their teams. I also have a couple of free teams from them, from what they call it. If you register on this website monthly, they usually send you free teams that you can use. And on the normal, those teams might be $20, $30, that kind of thing. But there are times that they just give it out for free. I've bought teams from them as well. So I don't know if that's a qualification for you to get free teams, but I think it's the same across board. You just get free teams that way. So down here, you can see teams for anything. If it's multi-purpose means that you can see teams for building websites for consultants, building for schools, barbers, stores. So pre-built, yeah, this is what I was coming to. These teams, they have pre-built demos that you can use. All you need to do is to do your customization. As you can see, you can do your customization, change your colors, change your fonts to fit what you're looking for. And then you have like a full-fledged website. The content, you change the contents on the website. It makes it easier for you to launch a website faster than most, like in most cases where you see that it's taking more than 6 months to build out a whole solution for people. You see here, there are teams for personal trainers, mechanics, influencer, marketing, makeup artists as well, makeup and hairstylists. So it all depends on what you're looking for. Most times before starting a project, we usually send what is it called? We usually send a questionnaire to clients to know like what are the things you're looking for, what kind of website, that kind of thing. You'll get to know what kind of business they are into as well. Those things are determinants that will help you say, okay, this is the type of team that will work for my client. This private chef. So there's a whole lot for different teams. Yeah, there's a whole lot for different teams. You can choose whichever one that you want. So why I was mentioning the free premium ones is like this on my PC. I can try them out before actually going to buy them, rather than buying rather than buying the theme and finding out that, oh, this doesn't fit what I'm looking for. This doesn't fit what I'm looking for. You understand me? So that's one. You can get these free themes. You can get them from different things. So what I'll do is, are you on the community group?
Community group. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't think so. I just saw an
Okay.
ad.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do after now is okay. You came through the ad.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
ad.
Mm,
Then
okay.
came.
Okay, that's fine. So what you can do is you can drop your or
Email.
let me send you my email.
Okay.
I'm typing my email in the chat. So
Yeah.
I'm typing my email in the chat. So you can just send me an email. So what I'll just do is to also get those links for the resources that you also need. Though though for subsequent classes we would also go through all that, but
Okay.
I'm just saying. So I think with that we can move to the next thing. So aside that, mainly themes and plugins are the main things. And the resource link I'm sending contains both. Um, the resource link I'm sending contains both themes and plugins as well that you can try out. At the end of the class, also, I would share. At the end of the class, sorry, the workshops, the series of workshops that we're going to have, I'm going to share Elementor templates as well. I think I have a couple. It's quite large. I downloaded them, and it's just something that is going to help you build a website a whole lot faster. As you
Okay.
can see, Elementor templates. I think this is about 3 gig. 3 gig, 3 gig of file. So inside you just see pre-built templates for different things: zoo, accounting firm, law firm, modern creative, drone aerial photography. There's so many things that you would see in this templates pack. So I mean, there are so many things that we can share at the end of the day on this. So, but just be on the lookout for it anyway. Another thing also that you can do is to join us on meetup.com. Yeah,
Okay.
join us on meetup.com so that you'll be able to receive notifications. You'll be able to receive notifications whenever we send out emails to attendees and all that, so that if there are resources or if there are information that we want to pass across, you'll be able to get them as well. So I think that helps. So the last question, okay, I hope that's fine. I hope that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just a drop. Well, the element you're talking about, is it
Yeah.
one-time payment, or you have to do it annually, or once you just get the
Okay.
package, it's yours?
There's a free version as well. There's a free version, and
Okay.
then there's a there are versions, the pro versions where you pay. Um, excuse me. There are the pro versions where you pay for Elemental. There's a pro version where you pay for their plans. So there is a plugin that someone has shared earlier that allows you to get pro features from Elementor without paying for it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but they still say it's under free to use license. It's under a free to use license. So I don't know if they're infringing on any uh, anything. I don't know if they're infringing on anything. So, but that tool actually helps you to have the pro features of the Elementor plugin. So this is the Elementor plugin. There are people who combine to pay for it. Maybe the
Okay.
agency plan. Some persons me like it's cost effective for them, and all those kind of things. So it's usually per year. It's usually per year, but if you go through the route of using the plugin just um, that helps you just get the pro features of the descent. I mean, that works for you. If that works for you, that's fine. You understand? But if you decide, oh, you want to pay for it, that's also fine as well. This, yeah, yeah. So you're seeing the price range
Okay.
for the different things. You understand? You can see it at elementor.com/pricing hyphen plugin. So you can see all that, and it will tell you, oh, this is the number of pro widgets that you're privy to. 57, this is 86, 86, 86. Yeah, so
What does
each
this up to
each
three sites mean?
hmm?
What does this up to three sites, up to one site? What does it mean? Sorry.
Okay, it means that you can use this license for up to 3 websites. You can develop 3 websites with it.
Okay, only. Okay.
So this one is up to 25 websites, but if you want the 1,000 websites plan, this is agency. Why I say 1,000 website plan is most times agencies just pay up to purchase this.
Okay.
So if they pay 399, they just share it like 100, or depending on how many this thing. So they can use it to work on 100 websites,
Okay.
work on 100 websites and get um, full use of their money. You understand? So that's
Okay. Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm asking so many questions. Just the last one.
Oh, okay.
Right. Sorry. Let's say for example you buy one of these, they are planned for a year, and let's say you host a website probably maybe 2 3 years. What if this the plan finishes? Would it affect your website that's still running probably for like two
Uh,
three years?
well, the thing there is if it's unlicensed, that means that um, some features or you might not have access to some elements. You
Okay.
remember when you look at that this thing, it tells you how many elements you have access to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you know what? In the next
No, I
workshop,
mean,
yeah.
once you've used it to build your
Mm,
website and you hosted
mm,
the website, gotten a domain,
mm-hmm.
and it's there, and you're no longer using the Elementor, probably expires, and your website is still there. Would it, without you having
Mm,
to, will your website still be functional? Everything is
though,
okay.
though I've not
Things
encountered that, though I've not encountered the issue, but I think that the only thing there is that if you use Pro Elements, you might not be able to make maybe some kind of adjustments with that particular element again, or maybe the thing just disappears totally. It
okay.
disappears totally. So the only thing is just like when you renew, it appears like I guess the way it's going to work. I might be wrong, but I guess the way it's going to work is when you renew, you're able to have access to those pro add-ons, these pro widgets. You understand? So, but in the class that we're going to have, I would install and we can just practice and see what happens. You understand? I would install it and then just see what happens. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. So we have 2 other questions before we call it a day. Just 2 other questions before we call it a day. So Darlene asked, "Oh, Priscilla is here. Priscilla, you're welcome. Sorry, hold on, so that I'll just treat these guys, and then your question probably will be the last. Okay, so is it right to use the contact form that is not very popular? Or common. Okay, so like I mentioned, yeah, um, it's also not about popularity. There are forms that you can use that there are forms that you can see that would give you what you actually want. The only way to actually know is to install it and see what it looks like, to see how they feel, the look and feel, and see, okay, this actually works for me, and I like using this as opposed to using maybe contact forms or WP forms. You understand? It's just like our brother here, our co-organizer who designed an activity log plugin. That activity log plugin, like I mentioned, allows you to check out activities that has happened on your website. Now, imagine a scenario whereby um, since his plugin is new to the WordPress repository, people won't use it because they feel like, oh, because this plugin doesn't have rating now, I don't think we would use it. You get what I mean? I don't think you'll use it. So you just have to try things out to know that, okay, I would use this. But for most persons, why they usually go for the one that is most used is because they feel like, oh, it's the safe bet, or let's go for this one. I don't know about any other thing. And two, that I think that's not the only thing to look out for. The rating is not the only thing to look out for. There are plugins that have not been updated to work with the recent version of Yes. So you see here the rollback auto update plugin. You see untested with your version. It means it could work, and there's also a probability that it might not work. There are several situations back then whenever you install a plugin and it just crashes your website, just like that. You understand? So, I mean, it's something that you should also look out for. Is it compatible with the WordPress version I'm using and all that? Look at this. This is a forum software. This is the foremost forum software for WordPress, and is untested for this version. Last updated 7 months ago. So, I mean, these are other things to look out for when installing it. So the only way you know that something is that good is when you've actually experimented with it and saying, okay, this is nice, this is not nice, and this doesn't work for me. So I believe
All
I
right,
have
thank you
answered
so
it.
much. I
Thank
really
you very
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So, this is from Hope. As a sales executive, I mean to ask, how do I explain the value of a WordPress website to a small business owner who thinks social media is enough? Okay, so interesting. So interesting. One of the things with business owners is that it depends the client and where they're coming from, because a lot of the time, I would say that business owners are somewhat ignorant as to what they want for their business. And for you to actually win them over, you need to talk to them. There are different categories of business owners. There are business owners who understand the need for a website and all, and there are people that don't understand at all, which I think this is the category of persons that you're talking about, which is too much stress. But then here's one thing. You can let them know. You can let them know that the website is theirs. They have full control over everything that is happening on the website. Is it the contacts? Is it because tomorrow now, if something like TikTok was to go down, as something that happened in let us say Twitter is their most used platform, and Nigeria just wakes up one morning and bans Twitter, which is their most used platform. What are they going to do next? You understand? This is the platform that has been helping them get leads, get order, and this thing, and they didn't have a website. What is the next approach for them to move to another social media and start from scratch to start getting this? You understand? So, but the website just gives people a channel to just go to your website, and they are able to fill in the contact form, whether it's the contact form, whether it's what we call it, whether it's a contact form, whether it's checking out your articles, checking out information about the services on your website. They can do that easily. Like on my business website, one can easily go there. And say, okay, I want to schedule a meeting with Brilla and probably discuss a business opportunity with them, right? So the person can easily just come up on the website and say, okay, let me schedule a meeting with them. You understand? So it's whole lot easier for people to just do and carry out things and get new leads for their business than just relying on social media. Social media, for the most part, you have to put a whole lot of work into it. There's nothing about marketing that is just like, leave it and it will just come to you. There's a whole lot that happens when it comes to marketing. So what you can actually use to one of the things that I mentioned was you let them know that they own the property, they own it themselves. Another thing is while you're sleeping, your information is on there. Most times, people don't necessarily need to come and call you on the phone and start asking you, so what services do you offer? They already see it on the website. They already see the descriptions. Are there things that you don't offer? They already see it on there on your service pages. Like I have service pages on here. They can already see what you offer. If it's WordPress development, if it's custom web applications, e-commerce solutions, enterprise, you understand all that. They can see all that on your website, and they're able to just like click on the pages. They have all the information they need. The only thing now that they need to do is to contact and then say, okay, these are the things I need to do. And then you on your own part, maybe if you do your due diligence, you're able to say, okay, this is what I can do for you. This is a solution I can provide for you. So I think with all that, yeah, unless they necessarily do not need websites for their business, honestly. So that's one. I really hope I've answered your question. Let me see. Yeah, I really hope I've answered your question. So
Thank you. Yes.
all right, you're welcome. So the next person, when is the next class? Okay, yeah, like I just mentioned, follow us on meetup.com, search for WordPress Port Harcourt and follow us. You'll be able to get notifications when we schedule a meeting, because we'll be scheduling a meeting this week, so everyone can prepare against the next meeting should really be next month. Should really be first week of next month, just like we did first week of this month, February. It should be first week of next month. I mean, really, a lot of us are tied up with a lot of us are tied up with stuff, but we're just trying to see how we, carry everyone along, and we do this. So I think next month. But if one of our organizers volunteer to teach or carry out the take on the next class, we can be able to do that probably ending of February. You understand? So that's a conversation that would happen with the organizers. But what you just need to do on your part is just like follow us, join the community, and you just get updates mainly. You just get updates with that. So I'm new to designing. I'm new to web designing and interested in building e-commerce platform. Could you advise free plugins and options on integrating online payment gateways? Okay, payment gateways. The most popularly used this thing for e-commerce on WordPress is WooCommerce. It's free. You can use that to install. It's free. You can install that on your website and create products. Now, for payment gateways, there is a Paystack plugin. Let me go back to the website. Okay, yes. So there's a Paystack. Paystack is the most popular in Nigeria. Followed by Flutter. So there is Paystack that you can use. You can see Paystack for WooCommerce. Let me see. Yes. So this is Paystack. It's already installed. Paystack allows you to receive money from people for your products or services. Of course, in subsequent classes, we'll go through that. Not in the next class, in subsequent classes, we'll go through that. I think after the next class, the third class will be sort of around online stores and all. So I think it's something that we should look forward to. So I think there we can treat how to integrate the online payment stuff, and we see how it works. We see how we get notifications, the emails, every other thing around the setup. So that works. I just realized that my audio was not working for the laptop, which I feel like is going to be an issue for our recording. So I feel that it's going to be an issue for our recording, but I'll sort that out later. Any difference when working offline and online? The difference with working online is that if let's say I have this website, brilla.agency. If I'm working online, I wouldn't really need to migrate the website from my laptop to anything because it's already online. I can access it on my phone. I can access it on any device I choose to access it with. Get, but if it's on your laptop, you cannot access it with your phone. But you really need to do something to be able to access it. And the only way you can access it is either through your router or something like that. The IP address stuff through your router, you can be able to access it. You can be able to access it. But then when you're offline, when you're designing offline, if you choose that the format you want to use is to design offline and then upload the website online on a host, on a hosting plan or something like that, then the thing that happens is that you just go through the same process of installing on your PC, and then you're able to build out your website offline. Now, when you're done offline, you're going to be able to migrate. They call it migration. You're going to be able to migrate your website from your PC, which is offline, to the online platform. I think I have a video about migrations from offline to online. I'm not really sure, but I think I can check out. It's been a long time I updated all those videos, so I'll really need to make new videos that are concise and all. So okay, so this is how to import or migrate your website using all-in-one plugin. So what you can do, just search for Emmanuel Lua. You'd find my channel. Search for Emmanuel Lua. You find my channel. And
hi guys, my name is Emmanuel Lua. I'm a web developer and WordPress fanatic, just like you. I've created this channel for the sole purpose of providing you with tutorials, tips, and walkthroughs of the different plugins and themes we have on WordPress. It doesn't matter what level of skill you're on, whether you're the beginner, intermediate, or advanced skill level. As long as you're interested to learn more about WordPress or its related content, then all I want you to do is to hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video.
That's all the questions we can accommodate today. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful sharing this with you. I mean, a lot of us were able to stay to the end. It's not easy, like I said. It's not easy. So it's wonderful that we all stayed till the end of the class. And I just want to believe that we all got something from this, and we are able to learn and carry out all these things. You understand? So, sorry, I'm just looking through. I'm just looking through the comments and the people online. So, without any other thing, I think there are some other persons who joined us late. Sorry, you joined us while we were mid the workshop, but like I mentioned, if you actually want to see something that covers what we discussed today, you can actually go to my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel that you can check out and see. This is the particular one. I think, let me copy the address. All right, so that's wonderful. Yes, pretty much what we are looking for, moving to the next level. Pretty much what we're looking for. So we have a couple of announcements that we have a couple of events slated for the year. We are trying to refine and based on what we have had the last year. So we're trying to refine and we want to make sure that we have a wonderful year this year. One of the events that is coming back this year is the Do Action Charity Hackathon, which is the essence of these workshops. So we want a situation whereby our community members can be able to volunteer and help us work on some websites for NGOs free of charge, voluntarily, of course. So, which is one of the things that we're looking at. Another thing that is coming back this year by God's grace is WordCamp. Last year's WordCamp was wonderful. It was wonderful with the feedback we got from everyone. And what everyone was the major thing I took the takeaway from the feedback from last year from persons who filled in the feedback form. The major thing I got from everyone is that they wanted a more technical approach to it. Okay, so let us take it that last year was for marketing and business, and this year is really for developers, both beginners and advanced, right? So, and thank God we have a couple of gurus in our community who are vast, when it comes down to JavaScript, PHP, and all that, they're going to educate us. Oh yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome as well. So they're going to educate us. So there's whole lot of things to do this year, and I would just like us to be a lot more active in the sense that any person, when we bring out topics for this year, if you know that you can be able to give value or impact people with knowledge that you have, of course, everyone here has different experiences, and our experiences might not be the same. So it would feel a whole lot better if knowledge, the wealth of knowledge is coming from different persons rather than me alone or any of the organizers. Okay, so feel free if there are what the topics you would love to talk about, you want to educate us about, please feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp, or I don't know where else, but WhatsApp anyway, on the community group. Feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk about this particular topic, and we can set that up. We can set that up. So please try as much as possible to be active this year. I really thank you so much for joining us. So with that, we'll draw a close to today's section. It was wonderful. I thank God that a lot of us benefited from it, and we look forward to the next workshop. I believe the next workshop will also be an eye-opener to how we can easily do these things without having to stress ourselves so much. Okay, so with that, we draw a close to today's section. Thank you very much for joining, and do have a wonderful week ahead. Okay.
She don't know what it costs to live this life. The price ain't low. That's why I write best on these flights. But I live too many times. Too many times. You say you want me this time, not this time. Sometimes I'm like me, the bad version of me. Sometimes only. Version of me. Sometimes only. Stressful, I know. Every other day, another time zone. She's not easy to let go. She don't want no late night solo. What I need, what she wants. Hard to find a middle ground. All I need, that's someone. When I call up to store it down for me. Remember the last time that we linked, it was intimate. Pick it up, let's get into it. Give it up, you know you're missing it. Sometimes the version of me. Sometimes only. Sometimes only. Sometimes the version of me. Sometimes only. Sometimes only. asking you for more. Cause we've only begun, we're moving on. And the moment you call, I'm sure you know.